Hello, 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 hello. I hope you can hear me. Shalom, hello, Habari, and all that good stuff. It looks like a bit of a delay. I don't know if the internet is too strong today, but thank you for. This is Diaspora Connect. My name is Wanda Hanford, and thank you for tuning into my video, my live stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Trying to. Looks like the stream is kind of slow, so I'm gonna see. I think you can hear me. I wish there was someone in here to let the. Okay, the connection is unstable. Please wait while we try to reconnect. Okay. Hmm. I don't know about this stream today, but this is Diaspora Connect. My name is Wanda. Thank you for viewing my channel. Thank you for my old subscribers, my new subscribers, not old subscribers, but thank you for my previous subscribers, my new subscribers. I would say welcome, welcome, welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe so that my videos can get into circulation for others who are interested and who need my consultation, my advice in terms of repatriating and or visiting the continent of Africa. Shalom. Okay. Okay, Lizzie, thank you so much. You can hear me from the UKKKK. All right. Very, very, very good. The stream is a bit slow, so I do apologize. It's going to be some delays because it looks like there's delays on my end. I'm just hoping that you can at least hear what I have to say. So my picture may not um, coincide with my words. So just keep that in mind. I do apologize. I do apologize. So um, I'm going to wait. Okay. So I am live at my favorite cafe today. I tried to find a different place to sit today. So hopefully you can see and hear me okay. It's not too busy right now, but I foresee it getting very busy here. So I just wanted to come to you and do this live video. Um, I wanted to discuss a tourist visa when you come to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. When you come into the country, um, initially, and this is mainly for I think it's for all passport holders. But when you come in, I have a U.S. passport, so but I think it's this information is in reference to all passport holders. When you come into the country on a tourist visa, there are some things that you are allowed to do, and there are some things that you should not do. Um, but that does not mean that people don't do what they should not do, if you know what I mean. But it was laid on my heart to do this video because I wanted to share it with those who are not aware. There are some people who are aware, but there are many that may not be aware because many of us follow other people and we do what other people do here on the continent. So when we come, we follow them here, we follow their footsteps. We live the way they live. We live in areas that they live in, and we just follow and do whatever they do. And a lot of times we don't know the rules and regulations of being here, visiting here, etc. So that's what this video is geared towards those who don't know and who are visiting and or interested in repatriating, but you are not aware of some of the do's and don'ts that you could do it under a tourist visa. So maybe I should name the video "Do's and Don'ts" um, under a tourist visa. I think I'm gonna rename the video. Right now, I think I have a tourist visa in Tanzania, but I'm gonna rename it "The Do's and the Don'ts" of doing um, of having a tourist visa. The do's and the don'ts when coming in on a tourist visa into Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, or into Tanzania. So, um, as a tourist, as a visitor, when you come into the country, you come in on a tourist visa. If you come in on a tourist visa, you are a visitor. You are a tourist. That is it. You are just visiting. Even if you're renting a place to stay and you're um, interested in looking at areas for different projects, etc. When you are on a tourist visa, the only thing that you should be doing in Dar es Salaam, actually, the only thing you should be doing in Tanzania is visiting, seeing the sights, visiting Zanzibar in the different countries, and Mwanza, and Mbeya, Morogoro, um, uh, Tanga, all the different areas. You're just visiting, touring, okay, on a tourist visa. And a tourist visa is usually with the U.S. passport, you get 90 days, meaning you have to leave the country in and out every 90 days on a tourist visa. You can go to immigration. You can ask for to the local office, immigration office, and ask for a 30-day extension from them, giving you a little bit more time before you have to leave the country in 90 days. But you do have to ask for the extension before your 90 days expires. So please do not allow your tourist visa to expire. Do not cut it close. I would recommend you at least go to the immigration office at least 3 days before your visa expires. Don't go on the day it expires, because if something happens with traffic or long lines or some kind of mishap, then you'll be cutting it too close. Then your visa will expire. So go at least 3 days before your visa expires. I would go like a week, but that is, some people say that's too early, but I'm extra cautious in my dealings. So I went like a week early, but you can go about 3 days prior to your 90-day visa expiring, ask for a 30-day extension, and then you can get another 120 days if they give you that 30. Now, they don't have to give you 30 days. They don't have to. It's to their discretion. So please keep that in mind. And then, as a tourist, on a tourist visa, you must not do business here in this country. On a tourist visa, you are just a visitor. You are just touring the country. Tourist visa, visiting, touring, checking it out. You're not to be doing business. You're not to be selling things here in the country. You're not to be doing any of that on a tourist visa. Okay? Now, if you decide to do this, and if you choose to do this, then the consequences are in your hands, and it's up to you. If you are questioned about what you are doing, uh, a lot of times people would say, immigration would ask them, "What are you doing here?" That's the reason that they ask a lot of times, because it's not the fact that a lot of people think that they're asking because they're like, you know, looking at you as a foreigner, and like, why are you here, like that. But a lot of times when they ask you that, they're trying to figure out what is your purpose for being here. Are you a tourist? Are you trying to do business? Are you investing? What are you in school? Why are you here? What are you doing here? That's what they're wondering. Because if you're on a tourist visa, right, you should not be doing business, period. So um, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If you your intention is to do business, then after you do what you're going to do, get a business registered is what I would advise. Before you start trying to sell stuff here in this country, when you do that in this country, you are actually working here. You are actually doing business here. Okay. If you are doing business here, you must get a business visa, which is about, don't quote me on this because I'm not a immigration expert, but I've been told, excuse me, that a business visa is 250 USD every 90 days. I could be wrong, but you must pay that if you are doing business in this country. And also, you're not supposed to be working in this country as a foreigner unless you have a work permit. If you are a foreigner in this country, you're not supposed to be working in this country unless you have a work permit or residency. One or two things, work permit or residency. Work permit is very expensive. Residency is too. So keep those things in mind. This country does not play when it comes to stuff like that. So if you're following other people and you do not know the laws and rules of this country, please do your research. Please don't ask, in my opinion, don't ask another diaspora the rules of this country. You would be better off asking a Tanzanian the rules of this country or going online doing research, because many of us don't know and we go by what other people tell us. Okay. Yeah, so so I wouldn't advise you to ask other diaspora for your protection, because at the end of the day, when you go to speak with the immigration office about extending visas, staying here, when you're here longer than a certain period of time, they're going to be asking you, what are you doing? Why are you here? Because if you're on a tourist visa and you're here over a certain period of time, they're going to be wondering, what are you doing? Are you trying to do business? Are you trying to invest? What are you doing? And then based on what you say, you will have to pay a certain amount of money for being here and doing business here. So please keep that in mind. You can work online. You can work, if you're a foreigner here and you're on a tourist visa, you can work online. You can work online. You can make money online, because that's not physically working here in this country. If you are physically working here in this country, selling products or anything physically in this country, you cannot do that on a tourist visa. If you have a student visa, you are not supposed to be doing business. If you are not sure and you are on a student visa and you're doing business, do your research, ask a Tanzanian, do not ask a diaspora, do not ask someone coming from a foreign country who's going by what somebody else told them, unless they know for sure or unless they have one. And even if they have one, they may not know. So please keep that in mind. This is for your security, your safety, your protection, to save you money, headache, heartache. So please, please, please take the time to research and do not follow others. Do not follow others, because at the end of the day, their situation may be different from yours. You may not be able to do what I do because your situation may be different from mine. You may not have the visa I have, so um, do your research and make sure that you get information from credible people who will guide you and lead you in the right direction, the correct path that you need to go, or where your heart's desire is moving towards, that you don't get in a fiasco situation like in the past with the student visa fiasco situation. Many people actually follow other people to do the same thing. So when you're in a foreign country, before you make any financial decisions, do not just follow other people in doing things. Do your research. Okay? Do your research and make sure that it's a sound decision based on your life and your purpose for being here. Like I have a certain purpose for being here in this country. Therefore, I am doing things based on what is best for me. I'm not following other people. It's my money, and it's the purpose that the uncreated creator, the most high Yah, Sonini Nanini, Tata and Zambi. He has many names. The Yah, or the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He has many names. I don't argue about names, because at the end of the day, he's the uncreated creator. He knows his children, uh, and we know his voice. He knows us as well. So even if we are asleep, even if we are blind, even if we don't know his true name, he know when we call him, he comes. Because when I didn't know who he really was as a Christian, and I called him, he came. Okay, so he still hears us, his children. So if he has led you to come to the continent, or even he has spoken to your spirit, with the set apart spirit has spoken to your spirit, or the Ruach has spoken to your spirit, that's the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost, has spoken to your spirit, and encourage you to come back to the continent, and specifically Tanzania. Find out what the laws are here. Don't go by what other people tell you. You can get advice, like I do. I get advice from other people, but I weigh the options. I'm sorry, I'm reading this comment. Okay, so yeah, so just do your research in your dealings here, because it's a little Tanzania's government is a little stricter than some other countries. Like I think, yes, the Gambia or maybe Ghana or whatever, because Ghana, of course, is a little more accepting and open to receiving us in that way. So foreigners can just go and buy land, and in the Gambia as well, Kenya as well. So you can do that in certain countries, but in Tanzania, in order for a foreigner to buy land, you must be an investor. You cannot just come here and buy a house. You cannot just come here and buy land. You have to be an investor in the country. When I say investor, I mean greetings. Oh, warrior queens, greeting everyone. Um, you must be an investor, meaning you can create a business or start a business. That's an investment, because you're creating jobs and products and services to circulate, the money in the economy. You could invest in certain areas like agriculture, farming, mining, those areas that are needed to help develop the country. So those areas, like if you were to partner with the Tanzania, it would be ideal to do it in agriculture, farming, mining, import, export, customer service, or whatever area that you see that needs um, development or maybe improvement, that would be beneficial to the country. Those are the areas that maybe you should invest in, and you can actually partner with a Tanzanian, and you can actually create your own business for these things. You don't have to um, partner with a big company. You can start a small one like I did, and then just create jobs, because when you start a business, you're an investor, you're creating jobs for Tanzanians, because they're going to be the main ones working. So, for example, um, for Diaspora Connect Limited, which is my business, I am the international connection person. So I bring in the diaspora who were dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth. The diaspora comes in with the monies, whether it's from the UK, US, Jamaica, uh, Australia, Canada. We're dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth. We're everywhere. So if you were to come here and you would connect with me, uh, you would come in, and I would refer you to Tanzania for all your services that you may need here. Dalalis, fundis, which are mechanics or repairmen, they fix everything. Babysitters, dadas, shop, people who help you shop, people will help you who can help you with the language. Almost anyone can help you with that. You don't really have to take a Swahili class. You can actually just live amongst the Tanzanian like I do and learn the languages. I live in a local area and I live amongst Tanzanians. So I learn the language that way. I don't pay for any classes. I learn for free. And I'd rather do that because many of the classes are kind of formal and they teach you the formal Swahili. I want to learn the way that the locals speak. They remind me of us in the diaspora, and we create our own languages out of the Mzungu languages. So, for example, English in America, we learn the proper English, but we don't speak proper English. We speak um, our own language. It's English, but it's kind of like I would say uh, Ebonics. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's like, just like a language that we created on our own. So we do use a lot of slang, but the slang is the connection that we have with one another. So you could kind of say it's kind of our culture, um, the way we talk. So you can tell the difference in the way I speak English versus the way Mzungu speaks English. Because a lot of times they'll talk to me, even in America, and some stuff they don't understand. Some words or phrases that I use they don't understand because they don't use it. We do. We created it for ourselves. So Tanzanians do the same thing. They have different ways that they say things, and then the way that they put words together. They do that amongst themselves. So it's not formal. So so yeah, so it would be ideal to connect with Tanzanians when you do come to find out the laws, rules, and that govern a certain visas through immigration. You can do research online, and or you can actually speak with a Tanzanian that's a reliable, trusting source because you have to vet people. Just like in any place, America, UK, Australia, Canada, Jamaica, you have to vet people, so you can't trust what everyone says. But I know, Mambo. So you cannot trust what everyone says. Um, what else? Yeah. So I wanted to do that video um, to explain about the tourist visa because my spirit is the set apart spirit, or my spirit, which is the spirit of the Most High, is kind of dealing with me. I would say my spirit. The set apart spirit, or the Ruah, the spirit of the Most High, or the Holy Ghost, or the Holy Spirit, is dealing with me, my heart, my spirit, about our people following other people, coming in here and not doing their own research. Yes, you can listen to different people's advice, but please do your research on your own financial situation and your own well-being, so you won't have to make a bad decision and be kind of stuck and then have to change your plans at the last minute and leave. Or if you want to leave, that's fine, you can leave, because there are 54 countries on the continent, and this country is not for everyone. But if you want to be here and make it work like I did, it's not an option for me to go backwards. That's all I'm gonna say. There's not an option for me to go backwards. So I want to go forward, and if I decide to leave Tanzania, then it'll be my decision, not because of a situation that had arisen that made me have to leave because of a choice that I made. So just please um, make decisions that are wise with your money, and especially when you're a tourist visa. So um, I was told, and um, many people say many things. So a lot of people I talk to, they call me and they ask for my advice, and then they say, well, I was told this and I was told that. No, many people are told many things here. That's why you have to do your research. You have to pray, and you have to make sure that you're led of the Most High, Yah Spirit, or the uncreated creators. His Spirit will lead and guide you into all truths. So don't follow man. Don't follow a man. Okay, a woman, a man. Don't do that, because their purpose is different from yours. You come with a specific purpose in mind, or plans of doing business or investing or whatever, then you following other people, and it may get you off of what the goal or the plan or the purpose is for your coming here. So just make sure that you know what you can and cannot do on a tourist visa. It is very, very, very important because you don't want to get caught out there doing something you shouldn't be doing, and then the government asks you and sees you and says, uh, you're not supposed to be doing that on a tourist visa. Uh, you gotta buy a business visa, which is 250 USD every 90 days, or you gotta get a work permit. And if you don't have a business as a foreigner, it's about 3,000 USD, and or a residency is even more. So make wise decisions in how you move here and who you connect with and the money that you invest in. Make sure you're not doing shake your hand deals with people. Uh, if you don't do it legally as a foreigner, you can lose your investment. You can lose your money. So I've heard of situations that have arisen like this. So please don't make a bad decision with your money. Please don't shake hands with people. Please do it the legal way. Either create a partnership. No, not a partnership. Yeah, go into a partnership in that. When I say partnership, create a business with a Tanzanian. They have to have one more share than you. They have to have 51%. You need to have 49. It's the company is 100%, right? They have 51%. You have 49% of the shares, not of the revenue, not of the income. They don't get 51% of the revenue and income, just the shares. Meaning, if they want to sell shares, they can. You can, but that's it. They can't. The business can't be sold or anything by anybody without them, you guys agreeing to things. So everything that you do once the business is registered, legally registered, everything you do under the business is safe and secure at your investment as a foreigner. So if you buy land, if you build a house, if you, well, which is how you have to do it under the business, you get the business registered, then you buy land, you build a house, or you can buy a house under the business. You can buy a car, anything under the business name, not under your personal name, because it's under the business name and it's a Tanzanian business. So if you're not aware, I'm going to make you aware. The Tanzanian should be handling the business. If he's the director, I mean, he has one share more than you. This is his or her country. So they should be handling the business stuff, business office, tax stuff, land purchase. You can go with them and you can give them the investment, you can give them the money, but they handle it for the business. So, not you as a foreigner, English speaker. You can't get stuff done like that here. This is not that kind of place. It's not nothing like the West. You can't negotiate accurately. I don't even care if you know the language. If you know the language, they still know if you're foreign or not. And sometimes it's a little difficult, but when you are negotiating and doing business on that level, they will know. So it's safer and best, and will be less expensive if you allow your Tanzanian partners to handle business for you. Um, what else? So that's the main thing on a tourist visa. Make sure that you are just touring the country, visiting the country until you get a different visa. You get a different visa for business, then you can do business here. You still can't work. So basically, you can look into investing, partnering, doing business here, but you can't work because you don't have a work permit. You have a business visa allows you to do business here, but it does not allow you to physically work here. You have to have a work permit to do work here. Okay? You can work online. If you have an online business, you're good to go. You can make as much money as you want online. That's primarily what my business is. It's consultations. So my consultations mainly are online, and um, yeah. So most of what I do is online. So I don't physically work here. Um, I work online, um, but I would if I wanted to hire someone, I can. So I can hire like a dada or kaka to work in my office. I have an office here. disclose the location, but my Tanzanian can work in my physical office. I can hire someone to work in my physical office for me. I will just oversee operations as a director and the CEO. So you can do that as well. Have a physical office, hire dadas and kakas to work. So you're creating jobs for the country. So yeah, but just wanted to just make sure I did this video to make everyone aware of what they can and cannot do on a tourist visa. If you do not believe or trust what I say, that's fine. There are many voices out there. A lot of YouTubers are giving different information. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. Don't ask someone else. Go online and dig deep. And if something is in Swahili, get a Swahili speaker, Tanzanian, to help you. I would advise any diaspora that comes here to connect with a Tanzanian that you trust that can interpret stuff for you. So if any laws or rules or things are in Swahili, they can read it to you or tell you what it says. So, for example, like I did, I brought this. I brought this. What do you call this? It was Covidol. I bought this Covidol last year that they sell in the pharmacy. And when I was trying to read the ingredients was in Swahili, Kiswahili. So I had my dada at the time. I lived with I lived 6 months with another family before I got my own place. So I had our dada to read to me what it said, and she read to me the directions. Take 1 tablespoon 3 times a day if you have cold symptoms. Blah 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 blah. So there was no ingredients on it. That's another thing. Yay, yay, yay for Tanzania who didn't list ingredients on their Covidol, so nobody can buy a copy them. So it didn't have ingredients, but it was just gives you instructions on how to take it. So I just brought some because I wanted to try it out and just start like taking it to build up my immune system. So last year I bought some and I took it, and I wasn't feeling any kind of way, but I just wanted to build up my immune system. So but anyways, that's an example of if you want to know like the laws, and if you start researching and you see something in Swahili, it's best to ask a Tanzanian to read it to you, interpret it for you. One you can trust, not a diaspora who's a foreigner as well. Don't get advice. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, being here a year. Actually, let me tell you something. I got here July 2020. So time is flying, you guys, because I keep saying I've been here a year and 3 weeks. Guess what? I've been here a year and 3 months because it's October, and I got here in July last year. So July, August, September, October. It's been a year and a year and 2 months. Wow. So even it's time is still flying. So I keep saying a year and 3 weeks. It's a year and 2 months in 2 months. So almost 3 months. So yeah. So I've been here long enough to know that be careful with getting advice from diaspora. Be careful with getting advice from diaspora. So yeah, I will advise you to please be careful doing that. That would not be a good idea because they're foreigners, especially when they haven't been here at least 3 to 6 months. Let them leave the country twice before they can tell you something. So at least you leave the country twice. That you've been here at least 6 months. If you haven't even been here 3 months and you're providing advice and guidance to people, come on now. Y'all have to use your brain and be realistic about the information that you may be getting. It's hit or miss. Look to people who've been here a while, like Traveling Sister, Melanin Migrate, Journey with Us. Those are a few people that can provide sound advice to you. Just it's many more, but those are the people that come to my mind that've been here a while that can provide sound guidance and advice to you about situations, from opening a bank account to international bank account to you know um, functioning here. Some of them have not. I don't know if they all started businesses, but I think all of them at least are working on some type of looking into something. So they may be able to provide personal guidance and information to you, as well as myself. So yeah, So I wanted to make sure that I put that out there. So please, if you feel that this information is important and it could help other diaspora interested in repatriating to the continent, please like, share, and subscribe this to this my channel. It is Diaspora Connect, uh, Tanzania, TZ, Diaspora Connect Limited in Tanzania, but Diaspora Connect TZ, which is my YouTube channel name, which I did change it when I registered the business. So it was uh, Wanda uh, Bana Yaounde, daughter of Zion. I changed my name. So, but anyway, my name is Wanda Hanford, and thank you for viewing my channel. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, like, thumbs up, share my videos so they can be in circulation for those who are interested in coming. I do come from a more seasoned and mature perspective. I am, many of you know my age, but I am over 40. I know I look 30 something. All praises to the Most High Yah, who lives above the heavens and whose spirit is in his children. He will preserve your life. He will give you long life. He will give you a new lease on life. That's how I feel. I feel like since I've been here on the continent, I have a new lease on life because I feel like I'm getting a second chance at living for real this time. You know, no GMOs, no fake foods, no poison water, no poison air, no hiding the sun or shading the sun from the sun people, from the melanated people who live and thrive off the sun, rejuvenating us, even in our eyes. You know how they encourage you to wear sunglasses? Really, the sun is really good for your pupils, your eyes. It does something inside the melanin in your eyeballs. So even with sunglasses, that was not for us, you guys. I mean, you may not make it a habit of looking up at the sun, but here you can actually do it. It is bright, but it does something to your whole being. The sun here does something to their whole being. Your hair, your skin, your internal organs. It heals all that vitamin D that we have lost being in the West because it's very cold, not as much sun. We need sun. We thrive and live. We're like a plant. We like a plant. We need sun and fresh air and water to grow, blossom, to rejuvenate our cells in our body is restored and renewed by the sun and by the atmosphere, the air, and by the water and the food. So this is our natural habitation, the continent of Africa, somewhere. So if you do like cold, Tanzania, Dar es Salaam may be a little too hot for you because it's about 85, 90 degrees right now. It's pretty hot, but I love it. I like tropical hot weather. So I always said when I was younger, um, during my first trip to the Bahamas, I think I went to the Bahamas and I went to Jamaica. It's funny, I went to the Bahamas, then I went to Jamaica, then I went to Ghana. Now I'm here. So it's like I did a gradual step up. I started with the Bahamas. That was from the US. That was my first cruise and it was like 3 days or something. So that was my first trip away from getting, 24 hours from the US. And then on a cruise ship. That was my first cruise. And then after that, I think a year after that or 2 years after that, I went to Jamaica on a cruise and I stayed 5 days. And that was my second cruise. And then I got to get away from the US and go to an island. So it's like I was going further and further. I did like a gradual step up process. Then I went to Ghana. Now I'm here. So I started seeing when I went to the Bahamas. Initially, I was thinking, I can live in this country. I love this climate. Like it's hot, but I like it. So that's when I knew I was like, I could live every day on a tropical island. I want to feel like I'm on a tropical island every day. I used to always tell people that when I was in Colorado, my last 6 years before I came here, I lived in Colorado. And I used to always tell people I can live in a tropical climate because I used to hate the cold weather. I used to hate the snow and the cold. I mean, I really did. I mean, I know how to dress for the cold weather, but I used to really not like the cold weather, you guys. Like all the snow. In Colorado, we got a lot of snow. Snow would be like up to your knee. You're like you trampling through snow up to your knee. It was a dry cold, so it didn't feel really like it was really colder than it felt because it's dry. So when there's no humidity, it don't feel as cold. It's like a still cold, but if you're out there for a long time, uh, you will really feel it. But if you're like in and out, you can actually wear like a light jacket because it wasn't really that cold unless you're out there for a long time. But it was always cold and wet. We only had like 3 months of warm weather in Colorado, but the rest of the year it was cold and snow. But the 3 months that was uh, warm weather, it was like beautiful, something like this. It was real. Colorado is really nice. One of the states in U.S. that's really nice in the summer. So if you were to go to visit, go in the summertime where there's no blizzards and snow, because all the rest of the months you got blizzards. You can get stuck somewhere. You have to get your car. You have to get shoveled out, and you can really get, especially if you don't have an SUV, you can get stuck somewhere. And several times I got stuck in places. I would say 3 times maybe, where the snow was above my tires, so I was kind of stuck. I had a Volkswagen Jetta, so you guys, that was not really a good car out there, but it was cheap and it was an all wheel. It was a front wheel drive. You got to either have an all wheel drive or front wheel drive out in a snowy climate like that. Rear wheel won't work because you're gonna be spinning all over the place. You could tell the people who have rear wheels because every time it snowed, they were like rolling down the hill and they were like they were trying to drive and the wheels were like spinning. So I was like, no, we can't do that in Colorado. So anyway, I don't know how I got on that, but anyway, I love this climate. I love this country. Let me look at some of these comments because they're just rolling, y'all. I'm missing all the comments. Let me see. Thank you, Warrior Queen. Thank you, Lizzie. You're welcome. Yeah. So, um, thank you, thank you, Warrior Queen, for the congrats. Hungara. That's how they say congrats here. Hungara. Yes, Lizzie. Snow to your knees. Yes. So yeah, I don't miss the snow, you guys. This is why I keep telling people I love, love, love Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. It is hot, very hot, but I've been in cold climates all my life. I was born in New Jersey. That's cold. I moved to Atlanta. That was nice. That weather in Atlanta was nice. I lived all my adult life in Atlanta, Georgia, because I moved down there in like high school. So it was like 11th grade in high school. And then I had my son down there. I got married down there. I used to be married for 13 years. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then after I got divorced, I got divorced in, I think 2011. And then I moved to Colorado. And I lived there for 6 years before I came here. So Colorado was a different from Atlanta because in Atlanta it was like what they call it, a black Hollywood type of place where we was everywhere starting businesses, and we were living like large, like driving Bentleys and I don't even know all the high level cars now. I don't even know the different cars anymore, y'all. But the high level, the most expensive cars, Ferraris, and I don't know. Um, Bugattis, Bugatti. Is that the name of the car? I think anyway, we was doing the most in Atlanta as black people. So it was nice to live there to see us doing big things and holding high positions. But you still had a lot of racism there in the country, in the I mean state. We're in like certain areas, certain pockets of the state, but there was still a lot of racism in the outskirts of many of the cities where many of Muslims lived, and then they had the KKK headquarters in Georgia. Um, it was gonna always be there. It wasn't Stone Mountain at one point when I first moved down there, but then they start moving out because many of us start moving there. And I remember when I first moved, I used to live in Douglasville, Georgia, and they had a headquarters out there because I saw they was doing like a march and they had all the flags. I was like, oh my goodness, y'all, the Confederate flags. So I was just so done with the country, even at that point, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do. So that's when I started traveling and went to the Bahamas, Jamaica, Ghana, and now Tanzania. Yeah, so I kind of gradually worked my way up into the international situation. I got my passport initially when I went to um, the Bahamas because they said that we needed a passport just in case something were to happen in the Bahamas and they would have to fly us back to the U.S. and that's like international waters. Even though Bahamas is part of the U.S., but to fly would be, they said something about international waters. So that's initially when I got my passport. And then since I had my passport, I was able to go to Jamaica and then Ghana and now here. And I actually renewed my passport right before I came to Tanzania. I renewed it because I was at like 5 months. And then I realized, I only had like 5 months left before I needed to renew, and I was trying to go to Ghana, and it was like, up, you have to have 6 months, so I had to do quick renewing of my passport. So I renewed it one time, so it's good for I guess 10 years or something like that. But anyway, yeah. So um, yeah, so I just wanted to do this quick video. I talked about my personal. I don't know. I get off on some of these videos. I'm supposed to be talking about one thing, and I start talking about something else. So I'm trying to stay on task with what the video is initially about. So I think I'm going to rename it "The Do's and the Don'ts of Having a Tourist Visa." Maybe I'll do that because some people just are not aware, and a lot of people go by what other people tell them, and there are a lot of younger people on the continent, and a lot of people follow the younger people. And you need to have a perspective from the younger and the elder or the older. I don't consider myself an elder, but I think I am because I'm the age that I could be a grandmother. So I don't know if I'm one yet because my son hasn't let me know that, but I still feel like I'm 30 something. I don't care what nobody say. I know I got a head full of gray, but I still feel young, you guys. I still have energy. I am healthy. I don't have any issues um, physically. I've never really been sickly. Um, I've always been kind of active. I roller skated a lot in the U.S. I used to roller skate like twice a week. Yeah, I used to roller skate twice a week, even in Colorado. And that's one thing I do miss. They don't have roller skating rinks here. Eventually, y'all, I'm gonna look into that, but that's not a urgent, pressing thing for me right now. The urgent, pressing thing for me in my spirit is buying land to build affordable housing. And in the process of me building affordable housing, which would be almost free housing, I have to have Airbnb and rental so it can balance out. So if that's what made me think about it because if I do Airbnb and rental, then the people who would like to stay on my property via Diaspora Connect, Tanzania, via me personally vetting you, staying on my property, renting on my property, the rent would be not be USD prices. My rent is going to be Tanzanian prices. So basically, for my places, for my Airbnb or rental, whether it's just two or four or whatever, I'm gonna have to start off small, building small, kidogo kidogo, poli poli, small, little, at a time. Um, it would be Tanzanian prices, so it'd be about anywhere between $20-$25 a night or something like that. And then that money that those people can afford to pay, that would be enough to allow me to have affordable housing for people who can't afford to pay anything, or they may only be able to pay, like kind of like a Section 80 type of thing, like they may only be able to afford like $10 or $2 or $5 or something. So I may require them to pay, like, you know how Section 8 is. It's like you pay a percentage of the amount for the place you stay, something like that. Where I say affordable housing, meaning they pay very very little based on their income and their financial situation, and or maybe nothing if they don't have any money, but they need a roof over their head. So that is my heart's desire. Yes, I miss roller skating, and I probably on my property, you know what, I might do a roller skating rink, but that's not urgent thing for me right now. I want to make sure that we have roofs over our heads, and that's including myself, you guys. I'm looking at myself too. Um, that I'm looking at myself too because right now I'm paying rent. So right now I'm paying rent. So I want to not have to pay rent myself, okay, to someone else. I would rather my money go to my land for my business, investing in my business, because my main source of income right now is just my business, Diaspora Connect, referrals, and the different business uh, dealings that I do based under my business. So I have a price list of services that I provide, driver's license. My Tanzanians, I have two partners, and they take you to get driver's license, TIN numbers. We'll do business consultation. So if you're interested in starting a business, all three of us will consult with you, um, sit down, talk to you. I'll be there so I can making sure everything is flowing smoothly and all your questions are answered. But they'll be the ones answering your business questions because two reasons: this is their country, one, and two, they have experienced, both of them, registering, assisting to register a foreign company as well as a local business. So both of them have experience doing this. Both of them have already purchased land. Both of them have vehicles. Both of them have their own vehicles. So um, people like this are good, ideal candidates to partner with when doing business here in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, on the just not only in Dar es Salaam but in Tanzania, because the reason I say this is because they have done business already. They have vehicles. They have already their own land, so they have financed a vehicle. That's business, and they have also purchased land themselves. So they already know the purchase land process. So they can be very helpful in doing it for on behalf of the business. So they purchase land in their own country as well as finance the vehicle in their own country. So what more beneficial would that, that would be the most beneficial um, for us as foreigners to partner with someone of that nature and manner, because they have already done business in their own country. So they can properly advise, or they will research what they don't know. I'm not saying that my Tanzanian partners know everything. They're not perfect. They don't know everything, but they have actually done what we needed done. They have done what we needed to have done in terms of helping us to get established, registering our businesses, whether local or foreign. So they already know the steps that need to be taken in that process, and they're working with them on the customer service. They're very friendly, so they already have that part. And of course, I have already vetted them because I've known them for over a year, both of them. I met them when I first got here last year in July. I think it was August, actually August or September, through Uber. I was riding Uber, and I met them, and I, just start talking to them. They spoke really good English, and then I asked, "Do you mind if I refer you to diaspora that come here?" And they said, "No, not at all." So we connected, and those were the main two that I started connecting. And a year later, one of them has told some of our clients that I have connected them to over 300 people. So I didn't realize it, but I was in the largest WhatsApp. I was an admin of the largest WhatsApp group here in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania last year. When I got here in July, it was four of us that started it. Um, it was a fiasco going on in that group, y'all. It was a mess. But it was three of us that initially started. It was three ladies, and then it was a mess. But anyway, I ended up being one of the admins of the group. And when I left it in February of this year. So I helped start it. I was part of three ladies that actually started it. So I'm going to be honest, it was three of us. Two of the ladies actually started it. I was just like the first person, just a part of it. And we started it as a communication tool. So if our phones don't work or something doesn't happen, we can use WhatsApp um, to uh, to connect with each other. Because when I came here, I didn't have a SIM card for like 3 months, y'all. I was getting lost in Ubers. I was scared to take Uber. So I had my issues. Y'all. So I know what it feels like to come here not prepared and not knowing nothing. I didn't know the language, y'all. I didn't know T shillings, and I didn't even have a SIM card for like 3 months. So one of the ladies, the lady that I lived with, she gave me her. She had an extra SIM card. She gave it to me for my phone. And then I was just so nervous about doing anything. I was like, no, I'm gonna leave my phone the way it is. I did have T-Mobile, but T-Mobile didn't have an international plan. They had unlimited texting, and they had 25 cents a minute calls. So I was just scared, y'all. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to make like bad decisions, and I was just nervous. So I was like slow, poly, and doing everything, y'all. So they had to lead and guide me. Both of the ladies kind of helped me through because they were a little bit more further along than me. Because one lady got here in March, and then the other lady got here at the let's see, she got here I think in the end of June or the beginning of July, and I got here like the second or third week in July. So they helped me along, and then we started that WhatsApp group. When I left in February, y'all, it was the biggest group. It was like 200 something families in that group, and I left in February. Y'all, I couldn't take it. I started feeling anxiety like I was in America. Like I would be sleeping and my phone would be like boom, boom, boom. It would be beep, beep, beep. It would be all these messages. People would be arguing about everything. And I was just like, you guys, it was a nightmare on Elm Street, y'all. I had to get out of WhatsApp groups. So now today, I'm not in any WhatsApp groups. I was in like three. And initially, I was admins of two. The first one, both of them, somebody just made me an admin. I never asked to be admins of any groups, y'all. And I was always made to be admins of groups. But as an admin, I felt obligated to make sure everybody is, I'm a mother. So I'm a little motherly. But when you're in groups like that, people don't like you to tell them what to do. And so I had a lot of people not happy with me because they was like, I don't know who she thinks she is. She not telling me. You can't. She not telling me. I'm not gonna listen to what she. And so, y'all, I if it was children, it'd be different. But y'all, we talking about adults that was beefing with me because I was telling them what to do, just because I've been here longer and I was trying to properly advise them like I'm doing now, but they don't like to listen because they feel like they know more than you if they have more education or more experience or they successful business people in America. They feel like that they know more than you when they come here. So, oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. So, me and the other admin decided to leave in February. We both agreed that we would just leave the group. And when you do that, then the group automatically, hello, how are you? The group automatically accepts another admin, just puts another person as admin when you do that. So the group is still in existence on WhatsApp, and I don't know who the admins are, but I had to go, y'all. And I would see people. I know a lot of people here. I know a lot of people here. In my contacts, I have over 300 or 400 people that are here, probably more than that. But I know people individually, so they know my name, and I more personally on individual levels. Like they'll send me personal messages because before I left the group, I'm like, uh, my personal number. So if you need to contact me, please contact me by my phone number and or my WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal. I'm no longer on WhatsApp because I left because of the new terms that came. They wanted me to update the new terms. So I didn't agree with the new terms on WhatsApp, so I left. So now I'm just on Telegram and Signal. I have YouTube, IG, W, Hand, W, my last name, WHANDFORD1 on Instagram and Facebook. Those three. I couldn't handle Twitter, and I could not handle what's the other Snapchat. I mean, Twitter and what's the other one? Twitter and TikTok. Oh, y'all, I don't know if I'm too old for that, but TikTok and Twitter, I couldn't do it. It was just it's something about it. I just couldn't handle neither one of them. So I'm not on those. No. So I'm only on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And then I am on Telegram and Signal. So if you put my name Wanda Hanford in Telegram and Signal, you can connect with me on those, as well as email. My email is a big resource that I've been using for my business, and especially now that I have the two. I have the business email, which is diasporaconnect0 at gmail.com, and then I have my personal email, which is Wanda Jay. It's my first name Wanda Jay0110 at gmail.com. Is my personal email. I do a lot of business through the emails now. And so I can send a lot of information via email. So when I do my consultations, I usually do the two-part consultation. I do the personal talking chit chat, voice voice note or video chat, because a lot of people they want to hear my voice, see my face, or they want to just personally dialogue with me. People like that personal contact instead of just the technological contact where it's just like talking invisible, texting back and forth and all that, and just social media. They like to actually communicate with you personally, so they want to talk to me. I did start my consultations just via social media, no personal chit chatting. But now I have adopted the chit chatting because many people want to talk to me. So now most of my personal consultations are on Sunday. I just schedule them mainly on Sundays because Sunday is the freest day for me, because during the week I'm usually like meeting with people and doing business. I try to avoid the personal meetings on Sundays because I save Sundays for my personal consultations. Um, so yeah, so Sundays are usually the days that I schedule my consultations with people, to talk to them, to chit chat, to voice note, to video chat. Sometimes they want to see me in the flesh, or sometimes they want to hear my voice. I'll do voice notes, or if they want to talk to me like on a phone chit chat conversation. So I do that via Telegram, Signal, even Messenger, but not WhatsApp anymore. So I don't have WhatsApp anymore. So if you look for me, I won't be there, everyone. But and then also I do the two part. I also text too. So whatever information that I have to share with you from Passport in America, if you need that information, most people know that. Passport, of course, you have to get that. And then I'll tell you how to, schedule what airline, what from flight from US to here, and then everything else from here, I will advise you on, or either I advise you on what you need to prepare. Like I'll send you like a checklist of things you need to do. So this is the text information I send you. So after we talk on the phone, I'll send you like it's a lot of information, you guys. It's a lot just to prepare your mind and physically when you get here what to expect. So it's like a checklist of items. So when you're not talking to me and you're going through your travel plans, you can check, okay, did this, it's like a checklist. Okay, I've done that, this. So you can check off everything that you have done, from taking the test before you leave, 72 hours, this, online, filling out this surveillance form, or this form you need to fill out 24 hours before you come. Then when you get here, you have to take another COVID test at the airport. So I'll give you all that. Plus, the final results, or the final step, is a airport pickup and drop off to wherever you are staying via hotel, Airbnb, friend's house, wherever you're going. Have one, and it's mainly the pickup is I try to schedule your pickup with one of the two Tanzanian partners, so you can get to know them personally. Because if you ever need any other business dealings with me, they're going to be the ones taking you. So it's always good for you to meet one of them personally, so you can like lay eyes on them, talk to them, and kind of gauge their personalities and their integrity level. So if, for example, you contact me once you're here and say, oh, through your business, I would like you to help me, take me get a driver's license in, or my TIN number in, or maybe you can advise me which way to go in business, and or if you know of an attorney. I am referring my attorney who registered my business to diasporan. If you're interested in, if you need an attorney that registered my business. Okay, so every attorney is different. They all charge different fees. So if you're interested in the one who registered my business, it's a brother, Kaka, young brother. He actually works in an actual business office downtown here. It's in the CRCD. That's the bank, CRCD building. It's the bank building. So, but they have attorneys and lawyer offices in there. And actually, he works in an office to where if you go in the office, he has an actual office like in the West. So when you go into his office to meet with him, he has a secretary to check you in. They have a waiting area, and then they have attorneys' offices all in the back. So it's just like in the West. It's not just a person that says that they're an attorney, but they don't have a physical office. They work out of their home or wherever. I don't know, but he has an actual office. So. Which made me feel good because when I went to register my business and I met with him several times there, uh, signed paperwork and documents and stuff, it was an actual office. So I was like, okay, he legit, because I've heard stories of people being consulting with attorneys that um, kind of gave some iffy information and stuff like that, and it was kind of some say it was like a shady situation, but mine was not. So everything went smoothly. I registered my business in like 2 weeks, so all was well. I'm just reading some of the notes. Okay, Warrior Queen, I was just answering your question about the new terms. The new terms on WhatsApp was like this was had been since Facebook had brought WhatsApp out. So WhatsApp will have access to your financial information. Like they probably already do, but they would legally have when you updated the new terms at this point, they will have access to your banking financial information, so they could see your banking transactions. I do a lot of financial transactions on my phone. That's mainly where most of my transactions that I do right now is over the phone. So I can't allow them to have access to my financial information, my banking information, and all the transactions, CashApp and PayPal and all that stuff. I can't allow them to have access to that on my phone. So I said no. So uh, eventually, Signal and Telegram might do that, but when they send those new terms, if they update them, and that entails that, I'll have to get off that. So that's why I did it, update the terms. I always said last year, because they said that the terms were going to change last year, and I was already prepared to leave last year, but they never sent me the terms until this year. And so when they did send me the terms, they said you have 5 days. I knew that I wasn't gonna accept the new terms, so I just went through and tried to tell everyone that I knew in groups and everything. I'm coming off of WhatsApp, so I'm off. So, but I do have a local number here in Tanzania. If anyone is in Tanzania and they need to reach me, I have a local number here. And then for us diaspora here, when we reach out to others via internationally or even some people here, we use the Telegram, Signal, and WhatsApp and Messenger to connect via Wi-Fi. So if you don't have a phone number registered, or if your phone is not, if you don't have an international plan immediately when you come here, or whatever, or if you don't have a SIM card, you can still communicate with others via WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, or Messenger via Wi-Fi, as long as you have Wi-Fi. So those are very important apps. So if you're not app savvy or into those, you got to get those here. You just have to. It's not an option in order to communicate, because if something happens with your phone, you can still communicate via Wi-Fi on your computer or even on your phone. So yeah, so it's important to sign up for um, one of those platforms. Yeah, so I think I am going to end this live because I think it's been long enough. But I'm going to rename this stream the do's and don'ts, the do's and don'ts of being on a tourist visa. So just just to educate our people and make sure that they're aware, because some people don't like to do research and they just like to follow other people's steps, and I do get it because I kind of did that too. But when it comes to some things, I'm learning more and more every day. As long as the longer that I'm here, the more I'm learning things about the laws and rules in this country. And another thing I realized that I did not know is once you get off of a tourist visa, okay, listen to this very carefully, and then I'm going to end this live. This is very important. Once you get off of a tourist visa, so for example, if you get a student visa, a work permit, or a residence visa, you are no longer able to get back on a tourist visa. You are no longer able to get back on a tourist visa once you get off of a tourist visa.